Hey guys, today we'll try to understand further version of for loop. Previously, we worked on for loop where there was a condition which went into loop. Yeah, we'll see the diagram once again so that you have a refresher of it. So we checked this where the for loop went into an execution. It executed the statement which were available in the for loop, and then it moved on to the new statement. Okay. So after execution of the for loop, it went on to give the sequential codes. Yeah. But in for else loop, what happens is I'll show you the diagram. See, from here you will understand that the loops gets into activation. It's this is the loop block. It moves back to expression, and from expression it again comes back to loop block where it executes some statements in the loop block. Once all the conditions are satisfied, and if any of the condition gets unsatisfied or it comes to be false, then the else block will be executed. Yeah. Previously in for loop which we did, there was no else block. Yeah. There was no else block. It straight away came out of the loop and executed the next statements. Yeah. But over here in for else sequence, it will execute the else statement. So Python supports having an else statement associated with a for loop statement. Yeah. So if else statement is used with the for loop, the else statement is executed when the sequence is exhausted. Sorry. So if the sequence is exhausted before the control shifts to the main line execution. So this is the definition of for else loop. Let's try to understand some syntax on it. So let me put the syntax for your understanding. So it looks like this. So it will have a for, it will have an iterable sequence. Yeah. So you see here, so it has a for variable name and iterable sequence. So it executes this entire code till this before else. Yeah. It will keep on executing it unless and until it comes out of this entire loop. Then it jumps to else. Then it executes this else statement and then the mainline statement. We'll see how this gets executed by using some live examples. So suppose I have a count in range 6. Okay, so let me write a code. So I'll write a code for you. I'll say for count. Okay. For count in range 6. Yeah, so it will execute 6 times. I'll say print iteration number. Yeah, dot. This is one type of format you can use in your so what this print does is it will print in the curly brackets, it will print the number of count, which I have mentioned as dot format count. So this particular value will be placed inside the curly braces where I have placed the curly braces. Yes. So it will count till 6. And once it is finished, it will say print for loop over. Now, 6 times. 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 6 ti in else block. Yeah. So once the for loop is over, it will get into else block. So for loop is over, get into else block. And then it will print end of loop. This is the main line. This is the main statement. So let's see what happens. What is the output of this? So it has to give me numbers 6 times. And then it will say, okay, it is the loop is over. It is getting into a else block. And then it will end the loop and it will print the end block. Sure. So you saw this. So it first executed the loop from 0 to 5. You always know that when you specify range, it is always n minus 1. So 6 minus 1. So it is 5. So because it starts from 0 always, if you have not specified the range. So if I specify the start point as 1, it will start from 1 till 5. You'll see this. Yeah. Since I have not specified the range start point, it will automatically take the start point as 0. Okay. And it will loop 6 times. Now it has executed this loop 6 times. Then it has gone into the else statement where it said it is end of loop. Give me 1 minute. I specified end of loop. Yeah. And then it has gone into the mainline statement. Now using else statement with for loop in Python, in other languages, the else functionality is only provided if else pairs. So else is never provided with for loop. It is always provided with if, which we have seen earlier. But Python allows us to implement the else functionality with for loops as well. Now the else functionality is available for use only when the loop terminates normally. Yeah. Now, if you keep a break statement, which we'll see later, yeah, if it does not terminate normally, it will not execute the else statement. In case, as I said, in case of a forceful termination, the loop else statement is overlooked by the interpreter. Yeah. And its execution is so. I need to specify here. I'll specify in the statement. I'll specify here. Yeah. No. When the loop is not terminated by a break statement, the else block immediately after for or while is executed. Yes. So need to remember this. So unless and until there is no forceful termination, you can always uh, run the else block. Yes. So let us see some examples. Let me put some example with else block and with a termination and without a termination. So let me have one with for else construct loop with normal termination. Yeah, that is without break statement. Okay, let's try to write a code for this one. Yeah, so suppose I have for I in, let me have a list. So I have A, comma B, comma C. Yeah, sorry, I didn't put it in quotes. Let me put that here. So I have this three alphabets in a in a list, since it is enclosed in a square brackets. Now I'll say print type. What will it do? It will automatically print all the alphabets. You want to see this? Yeah, so it has printed the alphabets. Now I'll put an else as well here. So I'll put an else here and I'll say print for else loop statement successfully executed. Yes, sounds good. So if I do not have a break statement here, it will execute the else statement as well. You can see the output here. Yeah. Now let's use the same example with a break statement. Now this example with a break statement will do. With normal termination, now we'll use a forceful termination. Yeah, with break statement. So after print I will put the statement as break. Yeah. So this should break the statement. So it will not print the other alphabets. It will automatically first in the first instant itself. Once it prints A, it will automatically break the loop and it will come out. Let's see what happens. See this? It has printed only the alphabet A, which was the first alphabet, because the break statement has been included and it has forcefully terminated the loop. Yeah. So this type of else is only useful if there is an if condition inside the loop that is dependent on the loop variable and in some way or the other. So in method one, in the first loop which we saw, which was the for loop, properly. For else. Okay. So in the first instance where there was no forceful termination, yeah. So the loop terminates normally after iterating over the A, B, and C, and then executing the else statement as well, and then moving out. However, in the second place where the loop else statement is not executed, since the loop is forcefully stopped using a jump statement. The break is one of the jump statement. So this methods clearly show that when loop is forcefully terminated, the loop else expression is not executed at all. Yeah. Now, so let's understand a for else loop with some with an if condition. So let me put this for else loop with break statement and if conditions. Yes, we'll see what happens. Yeah. So I'm first creating a function to check whether the list item is a positive or a negative number. Yeah, I'll do that first. Rather than using this, what I can do is I can use the same method. Okay, let me use the same example so that you'll understand it in a better way. So what I'll do, I'll say break only if I have C, comma, D, comma, E. So I'll say if I'll take print as well. If I equals to D, then it should break. Yeah. Else it should print I. Yes. So if you have D in this sequence, it will break or it will print the entire thing. Yeah. So let's see if for else loop statement successfully executed, whether what it does. So we'll scroll down a bit, we'll see what happens. Now what we have done here is we have used the for loop, but we have also included if statement. And what we are saying, if I, this particular I, while iterating this entire list, if it comes across D, the loop will break. So let's run this statement. Let's see what happens. You see, it has executed the A, B, and C, but it has not, once it got to D, it broke the entire thing. Yeah. Over here again, the else statement didn't got executed. Yeah. Suppose I have an input. I'll say I'll use this if again. And let's see how we can include the else as well in the statement. So I'll say input. I'll say any alphabet that I have to input. I'll say help equals to input, enter, and alphabet of your choice. Yes. Now it will check for the alphabet. Yeah. If it is available, if D is available in that, it will break. If it's not available, then it will run the else statement as well. Let's see what happens. So it is asking me for an alphabet. So I'll press ES and I'll press enter. See, it has executed the alphabets and then it has executed the for else statement as well. Yes. Let me give you an run this example again. This time I will input A, S, D, F. Yeah. This time I have included D in the third alphabet. See, it has run till AS and then it has executed the break statement. It has not executed the else statement. So this is how you can use an for else statement with a for loop. Yeah. So the next thing that we'll check is the while loop. Yeah, in our next video. Hope you like this video. Thank you so much.